American business history. Let me begin with a very basic and I think important premise, which is that from the earliest colonial beginnings, the United States has always been a capitalist nation. Why do I think this is of fundamental importance? In contrast to Europe, for example, Europe had many, many centuries of pre-capitalist economic life. Feudalism, manorialism, the ancient world, all pre-capitalist. Capitalism is invented, is created at a certain point in time. By the time of the English founding of its colonies, eventually the 13 colonies, capitalism already was on the brink of triumph in England with the English Revolution of the 1640s, that final triumph, if you will. The point being is that there was no pre-capitalist background to the English colonies. Not feudalism, not manorialism, but rather capitalism in its 17th century guise. The significance of this, it seems to me, is shown in the fact that whereas, again, in contrast to Europe and England, we see various alternative ideologies, economic and social ideologies, different from capitalism. That is to say, significant socialist movements, significant communist movements in one or another of the European countries. And even though certainly there was a variety of socialist movements in this country, and Communist Party and all of that, never did they reach a mass base in contrast, again, to Europe. That is to say that capitalism has taken a hold, for better or for worse, on all classes of American people. That the working class that might be the most receptive to socialist or communist ideologies have never gone in that direction en masse. So deeply ingrained, again, for better or for worse, so deeply ingrained is that capitalist ethic that goes back to the founding of the English colonies. And we build on that premise. The format of the relationship, the economic relationship between the colonies and the mother country, England, the broad economic term was mercantilism, an economic relationship between the colony and the mother country. And how this was worked out, particularly in terms of a series of laws passed by Parliament in the 1600s, known as the Navigation Acts, involved the following relationship economically. That the colonies would provide a variety of raw materials, natural resources, to be shipped back on English ships, back to England, turned into finished products. Those finished goods would be sold in England and back to the colonies. One may reasonably argue, if the raw materials are coming out of the colonies, why not turn them into manufactured goods there in the colonies and save all of this rigmarole? But that defeats the purpose of the colony's existence to be for the benefit of the mother country, England, and therefore this travel and this kind of circuitous route. Now, this was established by laws of Parliament, the Navigation Acts. The products that England wanted from the colonies, no surprises here, tobacco, rice, indigo, what were called naval stores, tar, pitch, all of these things converted into finished goods. And perhaps most importantly, timber. Not so much for housing in England, but for shipbuilding. England, island nation, strong navy, very important for the building of these wooden ships of that era. All of this for the benefit of England. The problem, or problems of this arrangement was, first of all, distance. That is to say, the problem of
Sample complete. Ready to continue?